Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Edge of Eternities standard video, and I've had a lot of people asking me over the past couple of weeks, what are the upgrades to Orzhov Cage going to look like? Here you go! Orzhov Cage in the flesh, and the new cards here are pretty interesting. I think this deck got a couple of good upgrades. Nothing really to change the fundamentals of the deck. There's not really changing the core engine or how the deck functions, just kind of upgrading some things along the curve, or at least I think they're upgrades. Maybe they're not. We'll have to see in the video. But this is Orzhov Demon Cage, and this is a deck that I was pretty fond of going into Edge of Eternities. It was a deck that was initially sent to me by one of my viewers. Again, shout out to Fear Symmetry. And they've been working on it. We've been going back and forth a little bit on lists, and this is kind of where I want to begin. So basically the concept here, you're building your deck around Collector's Cage, which if you've watched this channel before, you'll know that I am a very, very big fan of this card. For good reason. I think it's a way to cheat out big stuff. It's a way to just get a little bit of value. You get some counters on your creatures. You do need to have 3 creatures with different powers to be able to cast the card. So there's a little bit of restrictions there. You want to try and make sure that you can do your best to spread out your powers among the creatures that are in your deck. So keep that in mind when building a Collector's Cage deck. That's the important part. As far as the big hits and the big payoffs are concerned, 2 Elspeth Stormslayer, 3 Overlord of the Mistmoors, and 4 Unholy Annex. A lot of people ask me the interaction between Annex and Cage. If you have an Annex under a cage and you activate the cage and you get to go to cast the spell, you choose which room you want to unlock. Most of the time you're going to want to unlock the Ritual Chamber, but there's some weird circumstances maybe you would do the Annex instead. But that's cool because you can just pay 1 mana, unlock the Ritual Chamber, and then pay an additional 3 mana to unlock the Annex immediately. So let's talk about some new cards, because what changed in this deck list? So first and foremost, we're doing a bit of a swap in the 1-drops. Previously, I was playing 4 Cecil and 3 Zack Fair. We were now trying a couple of Lightstall Inquisitors. I don't know what to feel about this card. It's very strange, because I was initially very high on it, and I don't know, the more I play with it, maybe just in this deck in particular, it's not utilizing it to the fullest ability. You kind of want to play this in a much more like lower to the ground aggressive deck that's playing a bunch of 1-drops to kind of take advantage of the fact that you're getting like a little speed bump out of this. But I don't know, it's a 1 mana 2/1 Vigilance. They exile a card from their hand, and then if they exile a land this way, that land comes into play tapped. If they exile a spell, that spell costs 1 more to play. But the idea is just that the body is pretty good, Vigilance is not bad, and it is another 1-drop that you can play that helps you get towards Cage. Seam Rip, this card I know is very good, because, I mean, when I first saw this card, when I was going over the rotation, if you guys remember the video that I uploaded a couple weeks ago talking about the cards that are rotating, was very, very disappointed to look at the removal spells like Cut Down and Lay Down Arms that are rotating, and thinking to myself, we're never going to get good 1 mana removal. I mean, we have Torch, but that's really it. And they just gave us Portable Hole, which is awesome. I think this card is fantastic. The fact that it goes after stuff like Cauldron and Profs and Storm Chaser's Talent alongside all the 1 and 2 mana creatures, fantastic card. Huge addition to the format. And I think if you're playing white, there's no reason not to main deck this card right now. Maybe not the full 4 copies, because there are some misses, but between 2 and 3, and then you sideboard the other copies, definitely a fantastic card here. And then the last new card here that we have is Sunset Saboteur. It's kind of a weird one. This one I'm a little skeptical on, again, the more I play with it. Again, very similar to Lightstall Inquisitor, much, much better in more aggressive decks that can kind of take advantage of the fact that you have a 2 mana 4/1 Menace, or in decks that have more, I mean, I guess this deck does have 6 removal spells, but it's a 2 mana 4/1 Menace. It has Ward, discard a card, and whenever it attacks, you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature an opponent controls. So pairing it with removal spells is nice, because if they hold back 2 blockers, you can even, if you have an instant speed kill spell, you can attack first, put a counter on the thing that you want to kill, and then use the kill spell on the thing. Basically no downside in that situation. So it does pair better with more instant speed removal. But what's nice about Saboteur is 4 power is a very unique point of power for something like Collector's Cage. Basically, no other creature in this deck has 4 power, so it's very easy to pair something like Saboteur or Demon Wall with, say, Voice of Victory, right? Voice of Victory attacks, makes 2 1/1s. You now have 2 1-power creatures. If you pair that with either Demon Wall or Saboteur, in that case, you would have a 3, a 2, and a 1, or a 4, a 2, and a 1. So that's 3 powers for Cage right there. And then kind of rounding out the deck, we have the Demon Walls to pair with the Annexes, a couple of removal spells in the form of Bitter Triumph. I'm choosing to go with Bitter Triumph over Shoot the Sheriff because the life loss, pretty good with Cecil. So that's, keep that in mind. And then a couple of voices. I did have 4 of this before, and I think after playing a couple of games, I might go back down to 2 Saboteur and 3 voice, because I did really miss the voices, and this card did kind of underperform, so keep that in mind. Mana base upgrade, we swapped Caves of Quellos for Godless Shrine. That's just, at least in my opinion, a strict upgrade, but nothing else changed. And then in the sideboard, there's a couple of new cards here. I'm trying out Elegy Acolyte with the theory that you kind of want some more like chunky card advantage and like more mid-game threats against stuff like Dimir midrange. And Acolyte seemed like one of the best ways to do that, just because 4/4 lifelink, if you can set up a turn where you have like this big combat step, and then after they declare blocks, depending on what happens, you can cage instant speed the Acolyte, and then trigger the Acolyte, draw a card, and then depending on what happened in combat, you can trigger the Void in end phase as well. So it can you can set up a pretty good blowout with the Acolyte. So I thought that was kind of cool and worth trying. And then just some other Duress, Exorcise, Rest in Peace, the usual suspects, nothing too crazy here. But yeah, that is the Demon Cage deck. Again, I'm not entirely sure how good Saboteur and Lightstall Inquisitor are. I know this deck should be playing Seam Rip, but the Inquisitors and the Saboteurs, maybe I would love to hear your opinions. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of these cards based on the games that you see in today's video. And without further ado, I will see you back here in just a little bit for round number 1. Look at this fucking banger-ass hand. Alright, 1 mana, 2/1 Time Walk. Time Walk secured. I repeat, Time Walk secured. Did you guys know that they put a 1 mana Time Walk in the set? It's kind of wild, huh? 4 mana Tishanas. Look at that. I mean, they probably weren't going to cast that card on turn 3 anyways, but they got to take Annex, right? I would imagine they got to take the Annex. When you hear about spider monkeys, it'll blow your mind. Those aren't real. There's no such thing as a spider and a monkey. That's just not a real thing, all right? The media wants you to believe they're real, but you and I both know they're not a real thing. Nice 4 mana spells. What are the odds they don't have a 3rd land? Please tell me you don't have a 3rd land. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Demon Wall. Is it a demon or a wall? Porque no los dos? Yeah, if your opponent misses a land drop, Inquisitor is kind of just a broken-ass card. It's like, the instant they miss a land drop, game's over. I don't really want to go for the Zack this turn. It's 16. I guess I don't... Yeah, I don't really have a reason to do anything. I could, like, Bitter Triumph the Bat, but I'm just going to make them burn their mana. I could play Flood Pits, I guess, but I'm okay with that. mean, I'm less okay with that. Let it happen, I guess. I mean, I know what they're doing. They're just not gonna. They're just not gonna like. They're gonna hold up mana the rest of the game. They're not gonna let me put a counter on my demon wall. Or maybe not. Okay. I mean, I guess I just do this now, right? Get the party started. 14. If I play Cecil this turn, I can flip it next turn, so I guess that's good. Okay. This is kind of sketchy. There's a Kaido they held? Maybe. Yeah, they were thinking about Kaidoing that turn. 9, 6. So if I go to 9, they're probably going to kill Cecil, right? But maybe they take the 2 and then kill it. So 9, 7. So I pass turn at 7. I have this back to block. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine, right? Let's do this. Black Ops Noah, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. 18 months, welcome back. That's bad. That is bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm not technically dead. Am I dead to Kaido? I am dead to Kaido, right? If I didn't attack with Cecil, was I still dead to Kaido? We had 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would have went to 1 if I didn't attack with Cecil. But, like, am I ever winning if I don't attack there? Probably not. Damn. Close. Close one. Okay, so let's try the Acolytes. The Rip, I think, is good. Feel like Elspeth is a card that seems like it should be good against them, but I just think it costs too much mana. Like, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to cut one of the ones from my main deck. Just, like, kind of lower the curve a little bit. Maybe I just cut both Elspeths. I don't really need it against them, right? Cut one Sunset, maybe? Try that. You think Golgari will still be good? Yeah, I think so. Don't. I accidentally click draw. Oops. That was not intentional, by the way. That was definitely not intentional. Awkward. Whoops. This is what happens when I try and talk and play at the same time. No, Golgari is still good, though, I think. Like, what did Golgari lose? It lost a land, and it lost Glissa, but there's still some good stuff. Mostly Mosswood Dread Knight. Mosswood is good. You don't get Kaido on 3. This hand's good against Kaido on 3. Yeah, I think it's just Glissa, right? Maybe this was just a tactical move all along, you know? If you think about it, Lightstall is better on the draw. Because they have less cards in hand to be able to exile from it, right? Just makes sense. I thought that was pretty obvious. Good news is we're not getting Kaido'd. That's the good news. Bad news is we're getting batted. Spyglass. I'm just gonna kill this shit now. Pay 3 life. Because I don't want to get countered. Cecil! Could get Kaido this turn, I guess. Meow, 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 meow. I'm at 14. Gombat. I mean, there's a good chance they have a counter spell, but I kind of got to go for it, right? Oh, I like that. Sure. That's fine. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the biggest losses for Dimir was probably the removal spells. Right? Like, specifically... I think specifically Cut Down. That one's probably the biggest loss. Because Go for the Throat is kind of sort of easily replaceable with Shoot the Sheriff. There's not, like, not that much of a downside, not that much of a difference. Okay, so their Kaido is just dead this turn. I like that. That's good for me. Kaido dead, and we get the flip Cecil. Huge. That's big. You could play Stab instead. Dude, Stab is so bad. Imagine your opponent plays taps out for VV Ornitier on turn 3, and you have a Stab in hand. Like, good luck, you know? Good luck. A 3 in hand? I guess we cast Cage first. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card, lose a life. I mean, I'll take that. Cast Demon Wall. See if this resolves. It does. Oh, I can't cage this turn because I have a 4, a 3, and a 3. Okay, that's awkward. That's a little awkward, isn't it? Flood Pits here. Okay. A little confused at that block. Okay, it seems like they are too. I guess you should choose the draw every time then, huh? They forgo a skull emoji. Skull emoji. Sand is beautiful. Beautiful. I should probably schedule my YouTube video today, shouldn't I? Because I have not done that yet. Tonight's YouTube video, by the way, is the random encounter deck. So for anybody who missed that, you're gonna want to check that out. You are gonna want to check that one out, because that one is a banger. They did choose to play like they did choose to play first. They're gonna regret that. Schedule. Today is 29th. 29th. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, YouTube video is scheduled. Bang. Bang, bang. I'm at 14. Dude, how the hell am I at 14? Like, for real. God. This sucks. This really sucks. I didn't even shock this game. All right, let's go to combat. I gotta kill the Malcolm this turn, I think. So player on Spell Pierce. Yeah, I had a feeling that was gonna happen. These are all really bad. And I guess Bitter Triumph, but we're just very dead this game. It's just Dimir for you, baby. From what I've tested thus far, has any one or two decks stuck out as the strongest? I've only played 2 decks so far, so it's really hard for me to tell you if that, like, I don't really have a good answer for you because I just haven't played enough decks. 6? What's my out this game? It's certainly not take 6. I'll tell you that much. What new card has been the most impressive so far? Again, same thing. I've only played 2 decks. It's hard to say. I mean, I guess if I had to say, like, between the 6 hours that I've played today and the early access, probably Cosmogran Zenith. I like that card a lot. I'm a big Cosmogran enjoyer. Do 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 do. That is a good point. Yeah, 6 hours screen time, but we haven't necessarily played all 6 hours. Yeah, that's Dimir for you. That is Dimir for you. Dimir is so fun. It is like one of the most boring standard decks of all time. I don't know how people enjoy playing Dimir. I cannot figure it out for the life of me. I know the pieces fit. They like winning. It gets to a certain point where, like, regardless of how much you win, it's like, you know what I mean? You have to count for your own mental sanity at some point. You know what I mean? Eventually, I feel like it gets to that point, doesn't it? Maybe not. Yeah, we have not had good cage hits. We've had some pretty sketchy-ass cage hits. Not Dimir, by the way. Rare non-Dimir player? Extremely rare non-Dimir player. They're still out there. They're out there somewhere. This is kind of a weird spot, dude. I need to I need to, like, figure out a way that I'm not gonna die. It doesn't involve Concealed Courtyard. I guess we get to flip Cecil next turn, so that's good. Do 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 do. I guess, like, the curiosity. I've heard a lot of people talk good things about this card, but I don't know. It's like, in theory, it kind of is a rampant growth if you squint hard enough, because you cast it on 1 and then rampant growth on turn 2. But you do have to take your first 2 turns off in order to get a rampant growth. So I don't know. And, like, rampant growth is really only good if you're going from 2 to 4, and a lot of these decks are going from 1 to 3, you know? So I don't know. Like, it seems like you'd rather just go elf into 3-drop than have to go, like, have this on turn 1 and then, you know what I mean? See what I'm saying? John Ramos, thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Welcome, Raiders. Uh, how do I not die? That's a really good question. I don't know, Zach. I'm at 8. Can I afford to play the second Annex this turn? I mean, yes. Should be fine, right? Theoretically, it should be fine, right? I think. Should be okay. Eugene. Okay. I wonder how many more colorless cards they have. I would guess probably not a ton, right? Just make a demon next turn. Demon. So we go to 8, they go to 10. It's gonna be a weird-ass game. Nice seam rip, by the way. I feel like there was... I don't remember... Oh. Well, we found the other colorless card they have. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a sire already. That is a sire. That's a sire, all right. That is a sire of 7 deaths. That would have been good last turn. Was there any way that I'm not dead? No, I think. Demon, they go to 9. I go to 12. Play Cecil. Block there. Yeah, I guess I technically have a turn. I do technically have 1 turn. I probably don't have more than 1 turn, but I got a turn. Isn't it ult GG? You think they have more colorless cards? Surely not, right? I think they only have 1 copy of Ugin and 1 copy of Sire of 7 Deaths. I believe that they only played 1 of each. They're playing Highlander. Also, if they have a second, I can call a judge, because that's cheating, right? What the fuck? Dude. Okay, you win. You win. Yeah. Yeah, you win, buddy. You win. You sure do. Shit. Try that, I guess. A deck can never beat Vivian Dimir in 1,000 years. You are correct, but at the same time, you know, our opponents live in their best life. They're just hoping to not queue into Dimir or Vivi. And you know, if they do, it's okay. Do. Are we all? I mean, I think this deck has a good Dimir matchup. Says the guy who just lost to Dimir. Like, Cage historically has had a good Dimir matchup, but maybe this version is worse against Dimir because you're not playing Paw Patch Recruit. And Paw Patch is typically one of the better cards against Dimir. Aha! That's what you get for not playing Curiosity Dan turn 1. Haha! Block. Block. Can you play Sirach in the sideboard of my Orzhov deck? Likely story. I guess we can just play green cards and simply never draw them and only always hit them off cage. That could be the plan. Which I guess kind of makes sense. +2. +2. This thing makes what? A 6/6? Ooh, he drew a spell. Vigilance, by the way. He has drawn a spell. Spell located. I'll take an Annex. How do we feel about the Saboteur? I mean, small sample size, but I still like that card. I think it's good. It's like a very hyper-aggressive card. It's kind of hard to block. I like it. I think it's nice. At 11? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is it worth losing a Soulstone to put them to 2? It has to be, right? I guess 2 and 1 are kind of the same. I mean, I assume they're not, yeah. Alright, your turn. Surely they don't have Ugin in hand, right? Actually, does Ugin save them? Oh. That one definitely does. Never mind. Actually, as it turns out, it doesn't save them at all. Easy. Calculated, by the way. Sire is not better. I feel like it is, no? Well, I mean, in that situation, Sire was not better, right? No 1-drop, but Demon Wall into Annex. Gotta keep it. Gotta keep this one. Do. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I'll take a cage. I'll take a little cagey. Okay, they're doing rampant stuff. Opie is ramping. Ramp. Hmm. I don't know. I'm not sure. Any input, chat? What do you think? This is more aggressive. Harder to block next turn. Yeah, let's go Sab. The better one? Well, I mean, I don't know I don't know how to answer that question. That's what I was asking you. You know? You're supposed to tell me what the better one is. I don't know these things myself. Anti-causal vestige. I told chat this earlier, but when I first read this card, I misread the name, and I thought it said anti-casual vestige. And I was like, man, the Eldrazi really hate casuals, don't they? But it turns out that's not what the card says. If you read it really quickly, it does kind of look like anti-casual. What went into play off the vestige? The World Wagon. This thing puts any permanent into play. It's not just creatures. Exorcise. That's not bad. Kill this, play a Demon Wall. This game is winnable, I think. We're making their elf really big. Maybe there it was better to put a counter on the wagon, because the elf can, like, potentially crew the wagon if I make it too big. Yeah, counter on wagon I think was better there. It's close. I think they maybe forgot the Saboteur had Menace and they thought they could block. Sniper! Pew, 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 pew! 3 blockers. That's not a 1-drop, by the way. Oh, wait, that still does do it, right? Yeah, that still does it. Because I have 1 extra mana. Sniper alert, sniper alert. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. The shitty thing is oh, but both of my things have Menace, right? They could have a way to kill the cage, but yeah. I mean, I gotta go for it. Sniper, we are cooked. Both of these have Menace. This is lethal if they have nothing. It's exactly 12. Hold. I'm feeling generous. I'm gonna put a counter on the sniper. Hold. 12 damage located. I mean, if they had a kill spell, they would have killed the cage. No. Nope. That's not gonna do it. That is not gonna do it. It has reach. Yes, both of my creatures have menace. They only have 1 creature with reach. Not good enough. Not good enough. The wagon is tall. I'll give you that. It feels like it should have the ability to reach, but... Alright. Easy. That went a little bit better than the first match, I'll say. Slightly better. I feel bad for the people who had to watch that, you know? I know it was bad for me. I assume it's got to be worse for you guys, right? Like... Got a kick. Those are tokens matchup. Will I gift you a sub for sitting through that? I feel like I should. I think you might. I think you kind of deserve it. My tactic is just double block. Yeah. Okay, new plan. It's not a very good plan, but it does allow me to attack at least. Aha! They also didn't make a token before, Okay, well, if they're just gonna do this, then... I'm okay with this, honestly. It's a 2-for-1. 2-for-1 secured. 2 for Juan. Dos para Juan. My cage hits have been so bad, man. Guess this? Cage hits have not been very good. Have I tried Boggles with Optimistic Scavenger in the new 1-mana fight aura? I haven't, no. I have not. It's probably good. Ooh, okay, good card. Good card located. I repeat, good card located. I told you there were some good cards in our deck. Not a lot, but there's a couple. It's good. Kind of an awkward Elspeth here, but I can only get it to 2. It's bad if they have their own Elspeth. Do. 4 in hand. Two demons next turn. 2 demons. Dose demons. Looks like 2 demons to me. Let him have the innocence for a turn. Yeah, I'm in. 2 demons. You ever fly here? Nah, flying is pretty bad. Let's just do this. Just chill for a little bit. Can try to one-shot them with the 0, maybe. I feel like we gotta be close now. God, Elspeth Annex, man. 2 demons is so good. Okay. Do you think they even play Starcage in their deck? I feel like they probably don't, no? It wouldn't make sense, I don't think. That one makes sense. I got 2 in hand. 2 in hand. Show me one of them, I guess. Yeah, they do have 2 demons to worry about. They got bigger fish to fry. I mean, they do have 6 mana, so I guess that's fine. Yeah, I guess we could send everything. Six, 2, 1. Is it this one, right? I can't even tell which one the rabbit's blocking. That's this one. I had to like double check there for a second. Did Glass Casket rotate? No, Glass Casket was in Wilds of Eldraine. I'm pretty sure, right? Don't quote me on that, but I'm like 99% sure that Glass Casket was in Wilds of Eldraine. Pretty sure. You would believe me? What if I told you it was in Foundations? Would you also believe me? Yeah, I mean, that's the real answer, is it's just in Foundations, because everything is. They actually put Glass Casket in every single set that's been in Standard for the past 2 years, but nobody ever noticed. Day of Judgment. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Day of Judgment. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6 mana. I guess just Cecil Elspeth, right? Like, plus here. I feel like we should be okay. And they do have demo field for the Soulstone Sanctuary, which is kind of annoying, but Gauge is good. We can, I think, trigger the Cage next turn. Yeah, with the Saboteur. Okay. That is a lot more cards, so that's a little sketchy. Yeah, the Elspeth that's exiled is from the Lightstall Inquisitor. I like the Lightstall. I think that card's good. 15. One, two, three. I have 6 mana. All right, let's just cage first. See what we find under the cage. Then we can reassess from there. That's good. I would say that's above average. 1, 2, 3, 4 left over. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is actually 0 the Elspeth and then use this cage to put a counter on Cecil. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I don't want to activate this cage until their end step because they might have a sweeper, but I do want to flip the Cecil here. So we go to 10, flip Cecil, then I can play Zack and pass. Then we can actually go for cage with protection up, which is nice. We do go to 8 because we don't have a demon, but that should be fine, right? I think. I mean, I guess they can go level 3 this turn, but we have 2 blockers, and we can make more blockers with this, so I feel like we should be okay. I do have 5 guards in hand, though. Okay, level 3. Level 3. Attacking everything at Elspeth. Okay, so what if we just go block, block, sacrifice Zack, put a counter here, and then... Yeah, and then if they Wrath, we get to keep the Cecil. I think this is good. Right, counter here. And I do want to keep the Cecil, right, if they Wrath. I think. Also, gain 7 is huge. I guess they could have the Exile Sweeper. Like the, whatever the, what's the new Exile Sweeper called? 5 mana exile creatures and spacecrafts. No more Sunfall. I mean, we kind of have like Timu Sunfall, right? Mistmoors. Yeah, Beyond the Quiet, that's the one. That's the one I was thinking of. Overlord. All right. Game dose. That was a little tricky to navigate that one, huh? Just a little tricky. Okay, Duress, this. Is Seam Rip good against them? I feel like all their important cards cost 3 mana. It doesn't hit Innocence or Talent. Like, I guess it hits Carrot Cake, but does that matter? I don't feel like that doesn't matter, no? I think Seam Rip is bad against them. I don't really know what else is bad against them is the problem. Could see boarding an Acolyte, maybe. It's like good-ish card against Wrath, kind of. Exorcise also good. Yeah, it's like hitting Carrot... What's the point of hitting Carrot Cake? Maybe I trim on some of the 1-drops. Like, maybe I trim... Or actually, the Saboteurs maybe aren't great against them, because they do go so wide with tokens. It's, like, pretty easy for them to double block this early. Let's try that. Let's try cutting Saboteur and just doing it like this. Dude, I did it again. I accidentally clicked on MTGO. All right, chat, shield your eyes for 2 seconds, okay? 3, 2, 1. All right, you're good. Thoughts on the land planet stations? I don't like those cards very much. I think they're a bit overrated. Well, I don't really know a ton of people who are like necessarily hyping them up, but I'm not really interested in playing them for the most part. I think they're kind of mid. Not a big fan. The only context that I really like the land stations in are exactly if you're playing Kona. Or not Kona, Kona. Because you can use the land stations to tap the Kona, and I think that's pretty cool. But besides, outside of exactly Kona, I don't think they're very good. Seems bad for us. Oh, right, I can just do this. I forgot I could do this. Good thing I realized this, huh? Gaming? He's gaming? Okay. Bitter Triumph plus Cecil is kind of nice. That is what we in the business call a combination. Combination strategy. At least their base is not very good. They can't get tokens off of it, at least. Which kind of helps. Enduring Innocence. Are we animating the Soulstone here? It's kind of tough, right? I've not made any changes to the biotech list yet. Yeah, you can link your list. I'll take a look at it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I kind of want to get really aggressive here. I don't know if this is a good idea, but... Oh, wait, I'm dumb. Because I can't attack with the Soulstone if I'm casting Elspeth this turn. Okay, this was kind of bad. Yeah, I shouldn't have done this. This was just pointless. Yeah, there was no reason to animate there. Oh no! For some reason, I thought I could cast the Elspeth and attack with the Soulstone, but obviously I can't. 4 Demand, 4 Zealot. This is pretty close to what I had, right? Yeah, you're playing the Viper. Dude, every single time I try the Viper, it's always so bad, so I didn't want to get scammed by the Viper again, but maybe it's better than I think it is. But my experience with Rottenmouth Viper is I put it into my deck, and then I draw it, and then I immediately regret putting it into my deck. Are we just going for it? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I only have 17 anyways. I can't just go for it. Yeah, I only have 17. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna 0, right? I don't want to let them block with the Innocence. 9, this is 13. 13's a lot of damage. Viper plus Brynhilder for haste is goated. Yeah, Viper Brynhilder is nice. But it's like kind of hard to fit. It's kind of hard to find room for Brynhilder in that deck specifically. It's like kind of tight on space. All right, your turn. Can they kill Elspeth this turn? I block Innocence. 1, 2, 3. They theoretically can kill Elspeth, yeah, if they send everything at it. It's going to come down to whether or not they drew a Wrath. I think they topped a card, though, so I would assume they drew a Wrath. I'm pretty sure they topped a card. Do. That's not good enough. That, my friend, is not good enough. Hold. Pause champ. Pause champ. Is that good enough? No, right? Because they block the biggest, they block the two biggest things. Oh, it is good enough. They take 6. That is good enough. Okay. True. I mean, yeah, true. I mean, is there a reason not to put them to 2 here? Like, I have 3 Elspeths, so I assume I still just do this, right? Like, I mean, I'm probably going to get Wrath next turn, but they're at 2, which is something, right? One, two, three, four. I'm actually not going to map here so I can protect the Elspeth. Could have Smite. Weren't they tapped out that turn? Well, they can Smite with the Cecil trigger on the stack, right? If I go to a combat and I attack with everything, they can respond to the Cecil trigger and then Smite one of the 3/3s. So they could have still smited if they had it. Think they have Wrath in hand? Oh, they didn't have it last turn. They've drawn like 5 extra cards since last turn, though, so... I feel like it's got to be pretty likely they have it at this point, right? I'm expecting them to have it. I'd be shocked if they didn't. I feel like they usually play, I don't know, 5 or 6, maybe 7. All right, there you go. The ref. Easy win. Enjoy the show. This hand does show. This hand definitely shows. Inquisitor. What is that? Oh, come on, not Dimir again. Please not Dimir again. What the hell do we... It's gotta be Saboteur first, right? Yeah, almost always Saboteur first. Sultai. How much money do you think Amazon has spent on paying out primes in the last 10 years? Probably a lot. I would imagine a lot, right? Sultai Dagrons. Dagrons. I don't even know how that works. How does Amazon Prime work? Right? So like you have a Prime membership, and part of the benefit of you having a Prime membership is you get to subscribe to people for free. So where does the money come? It comes from Amazon, right? So like the Amazon money goes to Twitch, I think is how it works. I'm not 100% positive, but I feel like it's something like that. I guess that's true. They do own Twitch, yeah. They do. It's more like a membership perk. Gotcha, yeah. Comes directly from Bezos' wallet. That makes me want to do it even more. It's a little awkward. Because I can't Soulstone, put a counter on wall and attack with both. So I guess we just be more mana efficient. Do it like this. Twitch pays out the streamers. Right. No, I know that, like, the streamers get a portion of... Get, like, a small... Get a portion of what the Prime subs are. I don't exactly remember what the cut is, but... Is that a Cosmogoyf? That was a Garrick's Uprising. Trigger Japan for a draw card. Creatures you control have trample. Oh, dude, they are cooking. Opponent is absolutely cooking. Holy shit. That's a chef right there. That is a chef right there. We're dead, by the way. We are just extremely dead. I didn't really think about Cosmogoyf with a Bornoculus, but that's nice. That's kind of gas. No, I'm taking 11. I could take 11, right? Okay. What is that last card? I feel like that attack was kind of sus, no? Okay, they're just dead. Oh, they get a blocker from the Oculus. They're not dead. Dead to a kill spell. Right. Can I survive a turn? Unlikely, right? Very, very unlikely that I can survive a turn. Dude, their deck looks sick. Cosmogoyf with a Bornoculus. I want to play their deck. Dead Oculus. Not if they think I have something good under the cage. I am dead to the Oculus. Alright, what the hell did we do against this? I guess Rest in Peace is good against Oculus. They didn't show me a single target for Seam Rip. Exorcise good. Like Elspeth might be a little too slow. Got the Saboteur. Try the end, maybe? So, like, sure, Rip is bad against Cosmogoyf, but if it turns off basically every other threat in their deck, then we can just play Rest in Peace, everything else is shut off, and then we can kind of... Like, we have a little bit more time to deal with the Cosmogoyfs, if that makes sense. You know? So I feel like it's... kind of... I feel like it's necessary. Because, like, it seems like one of the ways that we lose, like, one of the easiest ways we lose is just the fast Oculus. Voice. Let's try and play a long game. Why do you think I boarded in the end? I'm going to cast the end and I'm just going to steal their deck list. Maybe we should just be playing 4 copies of the end so we can just do that to everybody. They kept the 1-lander? Come on, what are you doing over there? Why are you keeping 1-landers, opponent? Please. Why are we keeping 1-landers? Okay. I mean, they did kind of get punished. They did miss their second land drop, so they're still a turn behind. I would say they got punished. Let's just Lightstall first. What you got over there? Which spell do you never want to cast for the rest of the game? Garrick's Uprising. Garuk. See, my cages are being good to me now. They were not being good to me earlier, but me and the cage were on the same page now. Most important thing, make sure you talk to your cages. You know, you gotta make sure that you like have a conversation with them, so they know, like, you know, you gotta be friendly with them, you know, so they're nice to you back. I don't really know where I was going with that, but best deck so far today. This is really only deck number 3. The second deck to be played was really good though. The Temur Battlecrier combo deck with Devastating Onslaught, that deck was good. But no, I didn't solve it in the first 6 hours of the format. Also, I've been live for almost 8 hours, and I feel like we've only been playing Magic for half of that, with how bad the servers have been today. So, you think half is generous? That's a good point, yeah. An entire hour of that was the Golgari match. Combat. I'm gonna try to play around Cover Up, I guess. How many cards are in the graveyard? 3? Yeah, let's play around Cover Up. Marangussi. Opponent has shown me their Marangussi. What was the Golgari Misery match? It was a Golgari deck, but the only creature the only win condition they showed was like Mosswood Dread Knight. Their entire deck was just like a billion removal spells and like 10 sweepers, and it wasn't a very fun match to participate in, I'll say that. That's putting it lightly. Stormbrood. Okay. I mean, that's something. So we go cage. Give me a good cage hit. Did we just go again? I think we go again. Demon Wall. Counter here. Again. That's more like it. Rising up. Shoot the sheriff. My sheriff has been shot. At 11? You got counter spells over there, opponent? You would tell me if you had a counter spell, right? Legally obligated to tell me. What if they just fucked around and did this? Hit him with one of these. 5. They're 11. If 4 in hand. I mean, yeah. I guess I'll just hit them for 5. I guess 6 is better. Hit them for 6. hold up kill spell. Because holding up kill spell is good if they go for Oculus. Because they could go like Oculus plus counterspell, but then we could just untap and exercise the Oculus. Okay, that's a good sign. Any standouts today? The Battle Crier deck was nuts. Battle Crier with Devastating Onslaught. That was probably the deck that I was the most impressed with today. That deck is good. Onslaught was messed up. Maybe I boarded in too much interaction against them. Because, like, look at my hand is just so reactive now. God, they still have 4 cards in hand, too. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Creature. I mean, that counts. God, we think they still have a counterspell, though, right? I mean, we haven't seen a single counterspell out of them yet. I think I have to make a demon here, right? I have to make a demon. They have another kill spell. They've gone through a lot already. Sheriff, Heritage, Sheriff, Awaken, Exhale. They've already gone through 5. I mean, they probably have a lot of them. Get pulsed. Two left in hand. Maybe I just go kill, discard the land, don't play the rest in peace. Or I can go kill this, discard land. And then just pass at 9. Or I could just play the rest in peace and go to 6. Maybe that's better. Yeah. Because I don't want to get Oculus. I really don't want to get Oculus next turn. We just need to survive, because we have this coming off. Oh shit, I forgot they had Reef. It's a good thing I didn't activate the Annex there, huh? Okay, well I can kill that. Alright. So I'm just dead? Right? Kill Goyf, go to 3, block Reef, die. Were they just holding Cosmoglyph the whole time? Because, like, they obviously didn't draw the second one of these. That's kind of weird. Like, why would they just not play one the last turn? I don't really know, but yeah, we're dead, all right. We are definitely dead. Right. I don't know, just like the last couple turns of that game felt a little weird. I'm not like saying they were sniping, but it just felt a little weird, you know? Like them holding, they played double Goyf the next turn, the turn after I played the Rest in Peace. They clearly held one the previous turn. Like, I don't know. It was just a little weird, that's all. Just a little weird. We played a little bit of Esper Pixie during early access, so I don't really want to play any more of that. I want to try and do some decks that we haven't done yet. And Pixie is one that we already tried, so probably hold off on that one for a little bit. But it's good. I think the Pixie deck that we played during early access was good. I like it. Do, 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 do. Zealot. Can't really attack this turn, so just this. Do do do. Overlord. Do, 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 do. Any overlords? GG's, GG's. Bat take Annex, huh? Yeah, one in hand? Well, let's see if they would like to trade. Perhaps. No trades. Guess we do this first. What is your last card? Exile your last pathetic card. It's a pretty good last pathetic card to have. Although I guess not really great in this situation. It's not... I don't really got much in the graveyard, so... I think I'm okay with him having erased the past. How am I liking the deck? I don't know. It's felt kind of mid so far. It's hard to exactly pinpoint why, but I don't know. It's been hit or miss. We've definitely gotten, like, towards the lower end of variance on some of our cage hits. We've played some weird matchups too, but I don't know. I like the additions. I think the new cards are good. Like both Inquisitor and what's it called? Inquisitor and Saboteur have both been very good, so I've liked it so far. Yeah, it feels like it's missing something. It's hard to like put like exactly pinpoint what it's missing, but it does kind of feel like it's missing some sort of like 3-mana mid-range card, maybe. Like something towards the middle of the curve. You know? Something like that, maybe. No, I don't do limited. Yeah, it could be Preacher. We initially had Sanguine Evangelist in the first list, but I was not the biggest fan of Sanguine. So, yeah, it could be Carsey too. Lifelink is pretty good. Carsey's also something nice to discard to Bitter Triumph, so that could be okay. Did these raise the pests, man? These are not the best raise the pests that I've ever seen. Definitely not the best. I guess that's fine, right? Yeah, I don't really ever draft. It's been a long time since I've done like a current set draft. It's been a while. I don't even remember the last time. Like it honestly, I mean, I guess I did a little bit of OTJ, but not too much. Just kind of like not my jam. All right, Orzhov Sacrifice. Lots of Raise the Pasts. So let's do Rip. Seam Rip is good. Exorcise kind of I like Elspeth, but it's kind of expensive. Feels like maybe not a Saboteur matchup. That's another thing, too. This card is extremely hit or miss. There are a lot of matchups where it's very good, but I think some that it's quite bad in. So, yeah, I don't know. Saboteur has been kind of hit or miss. We have sideboarded into Orzhov Control. Just kidding. God, what do you put back with the sand? This is like the perfect 7, huh? You ever just uh you ever just uh you ever just I kind of think it's Seam Rip. That's what I was thinking initially was Seam Rip. Like, what am I gonna do? Seam Rip their Snarling Gorehound? I don't give a shit about that card. Maybe I should. Destroy target enchantment. What enchantments do I have? Any double blocks? Does Moto also rotate so results for day 1 will be up tomorrow? Yes. The set is actually live today, and I'm pretty sure the challenge that happened today is already with the new cards. So we should have the MTGO results for that challenge tomorrow, I believe, and they should have the new cards, assuming people can acquire them. That's the issue. That's the issue with Moto is like day 1, the very, very first challenge. It's like it's not trivial to get cards that early in the first half hour or whatever. So sometimes it can be kind of tough. There's some 5-0s posted already. Do they have new cards? They do? Okay. Only list from today's league was stock Dimir with Watery Grave that went 5-0. Okay. Well, that doesn't really count as new cards, does it? I mean, I guess it does. Just take this. Save the bidder. Feel like they have a kill spell, but I mean, I'm attacking. I just need the life. Life secured. What does stock Dimir look like? I guess that's a good question, right? Like there's a pretty clear replacement for Go for the Throat in Go for the Throat with Shoot the Sheriff, but it's like it's not 100% clear what the replacement for Cutdown is. I'm curious. I'm gonna take a look. They're not really that good at like using, well, I mean, their Raise the Pass just like they haven't been able to do much with it. Okay, does this list have Watery Grave? Let me look. This one does not. I don't see Dimir. I see Esper, Temur, Boros, Grixis, Boros, and Izzet. An Esper deck with Seam Rip. Oh, it's just blue-black splash. No, this isn't. This one has voice. Wait, this deck looks based. Where are we at? What are we doing? What are we doing with our lives? I'm doing this. This Esper deck, by the way, looks really sick. Look at this thing. Cecil, Spyglass, Flood Pits, Voice, Preacher, Curiosity. So it's like blue-black, but it has Voice, Nomoralize, Get Lost, and Seam Rip. That looks nice. And I mean, the mana's doable because you have 8 shock lands. You have 8 shocks and a bunch of verges. I kind of fuck with it. Yeah, what if the answer all along in blue-black was just, instead of finding a black removal spell to replace cut down, just splash a third color? Like, it's kind of reasonable, right? Like, your mana's good enough, I think. Guess I shouldn't have blocked last turn. I didn't really think about them having a Raise the Past, but yeah, I should maybe have not blocked last turn. So they have another Raise the Past in hand. It just doesn't do anything, right? Like, what are they doing with this? Savvy Alloy, thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate that. Thank you for the sub. What was that list? It was like Esper Midrange. Basically just blue-black with Seam Rip and Voice of Victory. It's on the MTGEOE dump. Do 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 do.